Hi guys, happy Tuesday. So, I don't really remember if we finished Mother Red Cup. I kind of think we did, but I don't know. So, we're gonna just go right into protections and defenses, Stone Cross, and the Witch Bottle. So this is really interesting, a really interesting take on the Witch Bottle. So, I mean, you guys, newbies making witch bottles and for protection for themselves, just be careful that it doesn't get into somebody else's hands. Don't let it out of your sight. And I really understand a lot of what has happened here. What has happened here, it makes more sense. So the hauntings, or not the, well, you could kind of say it's haunted here. I mean, I don't consider it haunted because I've been here for almost 20 years now, 19 and a half, almost going on 20 years. So I wouldn't consider it haunted, but I did have a really good conversation the other night with my Skyly. I love you so much. Your necklace is shipping out today. So, yeah, necklaces are shipping out today. One came back to me because it was suspicious because it didn't have an address on it. It was both addresses mine. Blonde, very blonde. So, in the chaos going on is just, I detest the chaos. So, it's just ridiculous. But, yeah, this gave me a lot of information. In Skyly, what did we talk about? What was I trying to say? I forget. We were... a spiritual highway with this house, and she took the words right out of my mouth. It's like she read my mind. So you did read my mind, and I love that. It was like we have this connection, this spiritual link, and it's just familiar, not in the context of like family, being familiarized with like family. It's like meeting your, like a relative that you haven't seen for 10 years. So that's kind of how that connection feels, only stronger. It's just very amazing. So, you picked up right on that. Yeah, definitely a spiritual highway here. So, alright, now protections and defenses, the Stone Cross and the Witch Bottle. So, this gives me more insight into why stuff has happened here and what I can do about it. Very practical. It's amazing. Patrons, you'll be getting witch powder. It's very powerful. It worked amazing last night, so I'll tell you guys about that later, if I remember. But, alright. So, the protections and defenses. So, this is still amazing. This is the Black Toad by Magickal. I'm taking notes, but obviously I'm running out of room, because I've written the whole book down. 2 books are in one, right here. And somebody else sent me a leather journal today. Whoever did, thank you. It just said thank you on it. A gift for you, and then it said thank you. Thank you, because I love that journal. So, I don't know who did it, but thank you very much. That means a lot to me. So, alright, I think you guys will find this interesting. I did. So, alright, now the ancient stone markers of the ways. Oh God, why do I write? Here, okay. The ancient stone markers of the ways, here with the cross of the worlds, stand silently for the protection and sanctity of place, and to the wise they offer aid in the defense against the Black Witch's curse and ill wish. So the eagle-armed cruciform wheel unites the ways above, below, and the Midgard landscape, also the cardinal ways of the 4 directions and the spiritual world, vertical axis and the material worlds, the horizontal axis, encircled as one. So the cross. Pagan in origin, I love it. So thus the stone cross draws upon the virtues of all worlds and extends a warding influence to all ways, as a symbol of the meeting of all in one, or the center of all. The cross also depicts the divine force. So the village of St. Buren, from where Gemma writes, has such crosses erected at the ends of each of the 5 roads that extend out from the village's center. So perhaps then a village well protected. It's certainly a village with a long history of old magic, from where the influences of its magical practitioners continue to be sent forth in all directions to work upon their targets. So to these stone crosses the old Cornish might come to kneel and petition the ways and the divine for protection, exorcism, and release from all ill fortune, curses, and evil influences. So the 70th Psalm, obviously we're using, Psalms again here. A little bit of hoodoo I'm picking up on this, but I don't think it is. I actually think it's just traditional Cornish witchcraft. So, the 70th Psalm to be recited for deliverance from the evil of one's enemies. And this really worked. This really worked well. So, make haste, O Lord, O God, to deliver me, and make haste to help me, O Lord. Let them be ashamed and confounded that seek after my soul. Let them be turned backward and put to confusion that desire my hurt. Let them be turned back for a reward of their shame. Aha, aha. Let those that seek to rejoice and beguiled in thee. And let such as love thy salvation say continually, let God be magnified. But I am poor and needy. Make haste unto me, O God. Thou art my helper and my deliverer, O Lord. Make no larrying. So, okay, yeah. Larrying. I think I said that right. I don't know. But yeah, that did work for me. So, it has also been the practice in Cornwall to make burials at the foot of at least one stone cross of witch bottles, so a favorite prescription of the cunning practitioner and white witch. These are all in quotes, for the lifting and countering of curses suffered by their clients at the hands of black practitioners. So the methods for creating this device are many, yet vary in only minimal details, minor details. So the following method derives from the early 18th century Cornish instructions. Alright, so yeah, it's different. So to make a defense against all ill wishers, heat one's own urine until it is scalding and pour this into a narrow-necked stone jug. As much salt as can be taken up between 2 fingers and the thumb of the left hand, which is not this hand, the left hand, must be added. So taken, then 3 new nails, sharpened to the ends. Sharpen the ends to the sharpest points, and point these into the jug, points downwards. So close the jug firmly with clay and bind tightly with leather. It must be immediately then placed into warm embers, and not allowed once to go cold for 9 nights. The wisher will be greatly tormented by this, and will have no power over you. I like that. As odd as it sounds, it's just simple, practical, it works. So such devices of counter magic work via the ancient principle that there exists a link between witch and bewitched. The urine, being of the body of the victim, will thus contain parts of the vital essence of the witch within it. Contained within the urine will be traces of the victim's blood, and it is suggested by old witch belief there is to be found some of the witch's own blood also. So, for such is the subtlety of the devil, and he will not suffer the witch to infuse any poisonous matter into the body of a man or beast without some of the witch's blood mingled with it. Belgrove, 1671. I love that quote. Alright, so such a notion is cognate with the ancient belief that a witch's blood is the vessel and the vehicle of their power, and if their blood were to be drawn forth above the breath by their victim, then this spell will be broken and their power is lost. So by this link between the witch and the victim, and the inclusion of the victim's urine and any other matter from their body within the witch bottle is opened a conduit via which magical retaliation becomes possible. By the heat of the embers is the witch tormented, particularly in the passing of water. By the sharpened nails is the witch pricked and stabbed at. So 3 in number, they may recall the nails of the crucifixion, but also the 3 areas that the witch seeks to influence via their magic: the mind, the body, and the soul. And the causing of madness, bodily ailment or injury and spiritual attack, causing a general misfortune and haunting by evil spirits. So just be careful with your witch bottles. Very careful. So the 3 nails may also be seen to represent the 3 ways in which a witch may operate, via form, force, and spirit. The physical world equips the witch with herbs, stones, and other substances and materials to employ. Known to the witch are the ways to conjure, raise, add, and direct the forces of the land, the waters, the winds, and the heavens. Fires, and they are proficient in the summoning of spirits, conversing with them for wisdom and divinations, and sending them forth to carry them out. Their will out. So thus, in the 3 nails of the witch bottle, we may have the arsenal of the witches burned, and redirected upon them. Also, within our example, we have salt, the traditional breaker of spells and a potent substance of exorcism. Now, in the old stoneware vessels, we have this substance present within the very salt glaze, coating them, bringing on increase to their efficiency. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, I like that. Alright, now so, bottles for counterattack may, in Cornish tradition, always be buried. The bottled urine of the victim, man or beast, is to be buried neck downward, again inflicting upon the witch great difficulty with their water, causing harm to suffer the torment of strangury. I'm guessing that's a urinary tract infection. So buried witch bottles might also cause the witch to suffer a slow and painful wasting death. Other bottles may be prescribed that are preemptive and protective in nature rather than the charms of counterattack. So that's kind of different. Again, such devices may in detail with regard to their contents, although to a great extent than those of counterattack. So some may provide a decoy representing the potential victim of a black witch's maleficia, or the attention of evil spirits. As such, they must, of course, contain something of the body of the person, or persons. So they are to provide with protection. So hair and nail clippings are obviously very, very traditional. Now, it is these items that will provide the decoy, attracting the attention of any curses or evil spirits instead of their actual intended victim. So now, once drawn into the device, many tangled threads entrap and confuse the spirits, or the curse, for such things are only happy to travel in straight lines. And that's very, very true. It says so in the Book of Thoth. So the inclusion of thorns, pins, needles, again ensures that the trapped evil spirits, or the originator of any curses, is further instated, stabbed, and pricked at. Salt and other substances prepared or prescribed by the cunning practitioner may provide exorcism and further protections. Other protective bottles in Cornwall have contained earth and ash, boundary earth, taken from the 4 cardinal points of the area to be protected, and the sanctified earth of a churchyard could be advised. So this is where that whole thing comes in. The eternal ash of protective woods, herbs, or the written charms of the cunning practitioner would all provide potent protections. Bottle charms, or the preemptive, protective kind, are the best housed beneath the hearth, within the chimney, or beneath the threshold, the foundation of the house. For these are, of course, the vulnerable portals of the home, where such things as curses and evil spirits may seek entry. So as such, those are the advised locations for the installment of all household charms and devices of a protective nature. So, given that, so do you guys remember when all that went down with my basement? Everything went down. It was insane. So, things like to creep in those very vulnerable spots. So that was a vulnerable spot where the water had made a hole in the basement. The water definitely could have contained something in it that got in. So, that is, I finally, after how many years? 4 or 5? I'll have to go back and look at the blessings when I'm doing the basement and the house and the whole house, especially the basement, because that is where everything originated. So I honestly think that yes, something could have been in that water, some kind of energy that traveled inside through the foundation of the house. So it's just really different. It's really, really different. I mean, I've blessed it and I've done a lot of stuff with it, but now I think it's time to actually do a little traditional craft. Just these simple methods of all of this. Whoa, I just about knocked my entire everything down. Ooh. So yes, I just found that really cool and really interesting, and yeah, it just makes more sense though. Now, why would, stuff be riled up? There we go. So, a lot of work for me to do. Lots of work. But yes, everything is going really good though within traditional craft ever since I started reading Jim McGarry's books. Jeez, it's incredible. It really is. So, I mean, if you guys really, really want, get those 2 books. Traditional Witchcraft, A Cornish Book of Ways. I don't know if the first edition's still out there, but the second edition is. It's still just as good, if not better. And then the Black Toad, which I'm currently reading, which is amazing. So yeah, everything that we need, traditional witches, is in that book. And then we had another conversation with, I had a really good conversation with the Wicked Witch of the West. You're the Wicked Witch of the West Coast. I'm the Wicked Witch of the Middle East. Midwest. But yeah. We had a really good conversation about, oh God, I can't even remember now. What did we talk about? It was so, we were talking about Sabrina and how throughout the entire series, like the Hecate, invoking Hecate, I felt that came through the screen. You could feel Hecate, you could feel her presence. I mean, what happened? What did they do? What did they raise when they did that spell? What happened? I mean, something had to have happened, because Miranda Otto, you are an amazing actor, and the passion that you put into reenacting that ritual was incredible, and it almost to an extent looked like the words took over. So like when Sabrina says when she was in the air floating, when she had white eyes and she had fire in her hands, she said that she just kind of blacked out and did her lines, and it was kind of like a blackout. And that's kind of like me with the Ouija. You trance out and you just kind of do your thing. So I mean, it just the synchronicities and how they have portrayed traditional witches, and especially Cornish craft. I mean, we have Auntie Hilda, with her kitchen magic and her puppets and all of it. Everything is just, it's too coincidental to not be, a synchronicity. But I mean, it was just a really good conversation. It was very amazing. So, but yeah, I don't know. I wonder who all on that team, consultants. I wonder who their consultants are. I think that's incredible. So, big props to Chaos and Roberto. I'm not gonna butcher your name. Not even gonna try to say your name because I'll butcher it. So, but yeah. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a great day. Everybody, please stay safe. I love you all very, 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 very much. And more of the traditional witches necklaces are going to be shipped out today. So, I love you all the way from Venus. Still sunburnt, not as bad. All the way back down. And I will see you all tomorrow for Witchy Wednesday. Holy hot outside. So, alright guys, I love you all, and thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.